Hi. Happy new month, everyone. Happy new month. I can see one person behind the scene. Can you drop me a comment, please? Let me know if you can hear me. The connection is kind of weak. I'm seeing some signals. Can you hear me, please? Let me know. Anyways, okay, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I greet you all according to your times. I can see Rosie here. Hi Rosie, good evening my dear. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you. Happy new month. Happy first week of December. Yeah. Are you excited like me, Rosie? I don't know, for some reason I'm just so excited for this Christmas. I don't know. Nice to see you, dear. Yes, I know. I am just so excited. Even though, just keeping our fingers crossed, right? Because of the new viral virus, I'm just so worried that they should not say they'll start putting some restrictions again, lockdown again. I'm just so keeping our fingers crossed. Yeah, I keep seeing my connections kind of dancing. I don't know if you can hear me, Rosie. Can you hear me? Please just confirm with me if you can hear me before I continue talking. Yeah. Yeah, Christmas is here. It's around the corner, right? Once it's December, it's Christmas time, so I can. All right, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to confirm because last time I came on live and nobody could hear me. I was like, yeah, the network is sometimes dancing when it's a little bit late here. So what are your plans for Christmas? Have you started your Christmas vlog, Max? I know everybody's like all ready and set for the Christmas videos, December videos. Are you ready? Do you have some? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, no problem there. It's okay. I'm glad you can hear me. Yeah. So today I know I'm just here to chat with us like you parents, Christmas is around the corner and it's a festive period that parents are kind of so busy, but I just want to check with us that do we have those plans, like those rules that will keep our kids in place or keep them in order when they go because Christmas time is time that we meet with friends, families, Christmas is a time of coming together, celebration, and sometimes us parents, we are kind of busy or carried away with those enjoyment, and we don't really have that time with our kids. I remember like 2 years before COVID came, like when it's Christmas time, like we have to go like in our village meeting, we go to one person's house and we'll do the celebration there, and kids will just be jam-packed in one room there. And kids there and like kids of all ages, like from maybe 15, 16, 5 years, they just be talking and watching things that parents are not even there to watch, like to know what is happening. Like, I believe if we have those rules, like those screen rules that in place, that will also help our kids. I just thought of this because 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine invited me over for a coffee. So when I joined her at the coffee bar, I met two ladies there with two little boys, about like preschool age. Yeah, the kids were really playing well, and until the point that they started asking, I heard the kids say, well, the boy actually screamed, "Mommy, can I have my pewter? Can I have my pewter?" Maybe he was trying to call computer or something. And I could hear the mom say she was kind of regretting why she even came out with that child's iPad. I am not so worried because he's going to be with people people share the same values as I do, and I'm also going to supervise too. That is very important. I understand Christmas time, like this festive period, is time that like kids have maybe sleep over, but you have to be very careful, as you just rightly said. If you really trust that person that your kids are going to spend the night with, and the other kids too, that would be very good. And sometimes we have those trust, but you don't know what goes in the kids' mind, right? I have a story that I can also share here. Like this guy, he lives in the state. He had two kids back home with different mothers. My kid is a year 5 months, so I'm not leaving him for long. Exactly. Yeah. That child he's still young, right? Yeah, you can't really leave that kind of a child of that age that long. Yeah, need to be beside the mommy. So as I was saying, this man lives in the state, and he had 2 kids back home with 2 separate moms, a boy and a girl. So this brother, he brought those 2 kids over to the state. And keep coming, guys. Okay, thank you, guys. Hi, I can see 5 people. You know who I'm talking with, guys. Thumbs up for the host, please. Yes. If as you join, please just give this video a thumbs up, and if you have a community, you can also share. I know Rosie doesn't have a community yet. Yeah. So as I was saying, this guy brought those 2 kids over. One was about 15, the other one was about 10 years. The little girl was about 10 years old. So they were just living together with their dad, and their moms were still back home. So this boy has been abusing this little girl for a very long time, and their dad did not know, no idea. So this dad of ours had plans to go out of state. So he decided to take the 2 kids to a friend's house, and their friend's house, they're couple, and they have a little girl too, maybe about, I think they said about 12 years or 10, almost around the same age like the little girl. So this boy went to that woman's house and was also abusing that little girl. They did not even know. So they only discovered when this girl went to school and started crying, and the teachers were asking what is happening. Then she explained everything to them. So this couple, they got a call from school. That's when they know that this boy is abusing this little girl. That was even when the dad of that child knows that is what that boy has been doing. He did not even know that's what the brother has been doing to the own sister in the house. Sometimes we have those trusts, right? This brother trusted the couple trusted this friend of theirs to let their kids come over to his house. But you see what happened? I was just explaining this scenario because Rosie said you trust somebody, right? I'm not saying that you should not trust the person you be leaving your kids with, but I'm just saying that sometimes you have those trusts and people fail us. Exactly. Seriously. Yeah, so I was saying that this lady started, as the little boy at the coffee bar started crying, asking the mom to give his computer. This mom was like, there was nothing she could do, right? She had to just give in and give the iPad to that child. And I was like, at that point, that lady was giving that child the iPad just to please him, right? Just to let him stop the screaming and the crying in that bar, in that coffee bar. So we parents, we just sometimes we give in to kids because just to save a situation. And I also have an opportunity that on Monday too, my son is in grade 5. So they had an internet safety presentation at school. So parents were invited to join. So when I joined that presentation, the lady doing the presentation really it's early morning in Nigeria. I gotta go now. Coming to show support. Thank you, Rosie. I really appreciate it. I know it's really late. Yeah, it should be very late in Nigeria. I really appreciate your support there. Thank you so much. Thanks, thanks, thanks. And see you again. Yeah, I can see. Okay, this network is really. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, yeah, the network is kind of shaky. I don't know what is happening. Oh, okay. So as I was saying, this lady who was doing the presentation like said, studies have shown that kids who spend more than 2 hours on their screens, they lose a lot of important things in their lives. Like they lose a skill that could have helped them in school or at work. They lose social skills and also emotional skills. And I really agree with that lady, because I remember a situation last time, that was last year December. We went to celebrate with a family in Winnipeg. No, it was like a village meeting there, and it was in one lady's house. So on Christmas, that was on the 24th of December. So my kids had like activities in church from their catechism. So after their activities, we have to drive. It was about 2 hours, 2 hours drive. So we drove to that house. We got there. The party was already on in the basement, and I saw about 7 kids in the living room in the upper section of the house. Like when we got into that house, those kids did not even behave as if somebody entered that house, just because they were all concentrating on their iPads, on their phones. There were 7 of them, but they were not even discussing with each other. So I really agree with this lady that too much screen time, like it destroy kids. It destroy that social skill that they have. They don't even interact with one another, even when they are sitting with friends. So we parents, we have to be very careful and make sure we put those firm rules to keep our kids in check, like seriously. Yeah, so this lady also said that if you don't control kids with their screen time, they become so vulnerable to online addictions like gambling, and kids can also go into like watching porno. I don't want to use that word here. I don't know how white will take it, you know. And I thought it is high times we really take those put those rules in place. So I'll have 5 recommendations on and guidelines that parents can really follow to keep kids in place, especially kids that are below 2 years old. Hi, Ingas TV. Hi, host. Just stopped by to say hi. I'm glad to see you there. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Happy New Month. Hi, Tammy. Naturally, Tammy. Hi, nice to see you. Nice to see you, darling. Happy New Month. Happy New Month. Happy Tuesday. I think it is Wednesday here. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know where you are, so yeah, it's Wednesday. Nice to see you guys. So what are the plans for Christmas? Today is 1st of December. Are you excited like me? I am so excited for this December. I don't know. You are welcome. Happy New Month to you too. Thank you so much there. So I'm here just for us to discuss what are some of the rules that we have to put in place for our kids, to keep them off those screens, those gadgets. I know Christmas is around the corner, and it's a period that parents are really busy. You go meet your family and friends to celebrate. You don't really have that time to really put an eye on our kids? Do you have some rules in place that will keep your kids in check? You know? Yeah, so I'm here for us to just discuss. I have rules, 5 rules I'll be discussing with you guys, and if I I'll be putting the rules in the comment section, and if you can come on live, or if you want to join me to elaborate more on those rules, I'll really appreciate. Not big on Christmas, but I do like the season. Okay. I know COVID has destroyed everything about Christmas, you know, but we just keep thanking God for being alive, you know. Christmas before was a time that is a lot. There's always a lot of celebrations, but now people are just kind of, because we don't even know if we are going to celebrate again with friends this year, because last year we did not celebrate with friends, and we just have to make everything happy wherever you are. Even if you are in your house, just celebrate with your kids. It's going well, Ika. How are you? Okay. So I have some 5 rules, as I said, that we have to put in place for our kids to keep them in check. Like, even when we take them over to, even if they go over to, like, sleep over to their friends' houses, like, they have to always be in check with those rules. So I have some 5 rules I'll be sharing with you guys. I'm almost there, Ika. Will be there by the weekend. Just want to say thank you again. Okay. Tammy is talking to Ika. I hope she's still here. Before you guys join, I was just explaining a seminar that I joined online about internet safety for kids. That was that presentation was done in my son's class. He's in grade 5, about internet safety for kids. So I actually joined that presentation live on Zoom because parents were invited to join. So when I joined that presentation, the lady doing the presentation said, I don't have any kids, sorry, host. That's okay, that's okay. You can still learn the rules, and even it's rules that can also help even us parents, you know, because sometimes these phones, like, you are always on the phone. You need to have some rules for your own self too, because sometimes we are so focused. I think you can bear with me that even when you are more focused on your phone, you don't even have time to really take your phone to call your friend, you know. I understand how YouTube can make us just be carried away. So it's also another problem that affects even parents. Host Ima do, okay, host Ima do my premiere next, but I'll return to the chat when I'm through. Okay, are you having a premiere right now, Iga? Is it Inga? Sorry, maybe I'm not pronouncing your name right. Are you having a premiere right now? Yeah, I'm just asking to know the time. Maybe if it's maybe after 1 hour, I would like to join your premiere. Is it after 1 hour or when? Is Inga still here? You are good, approximately 5 minutes. Oh, okay. I'll watch it later when I'm done here. I really appreciate you for stopping by, my dear. Thank you so much. I was lagging. You're lagging in what? Okay. That means that she was lagging. I'm caught up now. Are you busy? I know. That's why I was saying that YouTube is making us like going crazy. Even the rules, as I'm saying, us parents, we see also need to respect those rules, because this YouTube is, I remember like sometimes even at the table I'm with my phone, following a live stream, or replying to a comment on my video. So there are some rules I really need to put in place, like lagging behind in the video. Yeah, maybe because of my connection, I keep seeing that popping, a message popping on my screen. I don't know, the network is kind of weak with this app. I don't know. Yeah, I tried a StreamYard. It was not working, and I said let me try this one again. It's still having some signals, but can you hear me, Tammy? Can you hear me? Anyways, yeah, I was just saying that these rules are not only for kids, us parents as well have to follow them. So as you said, Tammy, that I don't have kids yet, these rules, you can still follow these rules, because I know I'm caught up now. Okay, can you hear me? I don't know if the network is maybe making my voice ceasing or something. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, so the first screen time rule that I have is screen time is a privilege. That is the first rule I have. Maybe I'll drop in the comment section. Just 1 minute. I'm good, I can hear you, love. Hearing you, host. Okay, I like your topic. Oh, thank you. So that's the first screen time rule that we have to put in place for us parents and for kids to follow too. So if you're a mother and you have kids, you should let your kids know that screen time is a privilege that is given by mom and dad for them when they see it fit. Your kids should know that you can turn off the TV. They should know that you can confiscate the phone. Your kids should know that you can take their iPad when it's not the right time. So your kids should understand that screen time for them is a privilege. It is not a right. Yeah, because I narrated a story before you guys joined, how I went to a coffee bar and I met two ladies there with two little boys around preschool age. So those kids were playing happily before. At some point, they started asking their mom to give their iPad. And the mom, at that point, she was I heard her like kind of regretting why she even came out with the iPad. That was a big error there, because she actually went out with the iPad. Of course, if you are taking the kids out and taking the iPad, the kids know that at some point they will need the iPad, and that time, when that time comes, you give them. And that lady had to give them the iPad when they were asking, which is not right. So you have to put those rules, have to be very firm with those rules. So that is, your kids should know that it is a privilege, it is not a right, and we have to be very firm with that. Okay, Iga says it's true. Yeah, that's the first rule that I have. If you have any, can you elaborate on that? Do you think that is okay? Do you think it is okay for our kids to understand that screen time is a privilege? It is not a right for them to watch. Do you? Oh, Iga says she agrees with that. Yeah, so that is the first rule that I have to put in place. The second rule is screen time is a choice. I'll drop it in the comment section here, the chat rather. New comment. Okay, yeah, that's the second rule that you have to put in place for your kids. Your kids should know that screen time is a choice, which means that the parents have the right to choose when for them to watch. You should not give your kids maybe their iPad or allow them to watch the TV just because you want to give in to them, because they are making noise or because they are crying or they are screaming. It should be a choice that is being taken by their mom or dad, not an entitlement. Exactly. Yeah, it's a choice. It's not a right, not an entitlement, as you said. So this lady, as I earlier explained before, she gave into the kids screaming, right? Just because she didn't want them to be embarrassing her in the coffee bar. So that was not a great move for the mom to even take the kids out with an iPad. The only time that I take my kids out with an iPad is like if we are going maybe for a long drive or maybe about 12 hours drive. I will just give them, in the car just to keep them not to be so tired at some point, because when they are going on a long drive they keep hearing like, are we there yet, are we there yet? But when they have those iPads in the car, that is the only exception that for me, I don't know, but that's the only time I just let them just have it. Like I don't take kids out with iPad or something in the car. No. So I have the third point here. Screen time doesn't mix with company. I have to drop it in the chat. Yeah, so the third rule is for the kids to understand that screen time, not only for the kids. I said these rules are not just for kids, they are also for parents as well. Screen time should not be mixed with company. Your friends should not come over to your house and you are busy on your phone. Your kids should also be aware that when you have like guests in your house, they have to be focused. They have to stay with the family, entertain them, not focusing on their computers or on their iPad or on their phones. Like this idea of screen time is just kind of destroying kids, like their social skills a lot, because you visit a friend and even for the kids to leave their room to come and say hi to you is a problem. I don't know what is really happening with, like, we have to really be firm with all these rules, because the way the world is going now, if you're not careful, you're just gonna, I always say like, our own generation is kind of, so we have to do everything to protect these our kids that we are bringing to this world now, because the world is just going crazy, seriously. I visited a friend last time, and she had to call, like, insist for her daughter to leave the room to come and say hi, because that child was on a game with other friends, you know. So you have to put that rule in place, that parents should, the kids should know that when they have a guest over, everything should pause. I always ask my son, like, that game that you are playing, is gonna give you money or anything? Like, we should know how to, we should value things, we should value people more than things, because the way the world is going now, kids are kind of, they value things more than company. Even parents, like, you see a husband and a wife, they're in the living room, like, they don't even talk to each other. Everyone is just on the phone. We just have to try to, I know it is not easy, because I, for one, I'm saying this, I'm a little bit guilty with this phone, maybe in the living room, because when you are on YouTube, either you are on somebody's live stream supporting that person, or you are replying to comments under your own video, or you know, or you are researching on something to prepare against your video that you have to shoot, like, just a lot that you have to do with your phone. But we have to just try to put these rules in place, like, if not, we're just gonna lose everything, our social skills, our social connection, our emotional connection, even with our partners, even with our kids. Sometimes you see a child talking to the mom, asking the question to the mom, but the mom is just there on the phone or talking with a friend, you know. We just have to put these rules in place, just to not so we cannot lose all those skills, all those connections. Yeah, as I said, I watched this lady's video, no, this presentation on Zoom at my kids, my son's school. This lady really explained a lot of things, like, kids are very, very vulnerable now. We have to be very, very careful with them, because the things that kids watch behind, when parents don't even know, they are really terrible. Yeah, you see, have your child, like, maybe just 6, 7 years, but you don't know what they know, because they watch a lot on the TV. There's Google, they just search things up, they go to YouTube. So we have to really be very careful with our kids. Always check with them to see if everything is okay with them. So we have to put these rules to be very firm with them, not only with kids, but us parents, as I said. Yeah, so the fourth screen time is not supposed to be private. I'm gonna drop in the chat. I think this is one of the most important recommendation of all the 5 screen time rules that I have, because kids should not watch whatever thing they watch in private. As I earlier said before, screen time nowadays is making our kids so vulnerable to online addictions. Hi, host and everyone. Hi, Mirabel, Victorious Mirabel. Thanks for joining, Sissy. Yeah, so I'm here just for us to discuss some screen time rules for our kids. Not only for our kids, but also for us parents that we have to follow too. So I've mentioned about 3 of them. The first one, that the kids have to know that screen time is a privilege. So your kids should know that you can turn off the TV when it's the right time. Your kids should also know that you can confiscate their phone. You can seize their iPad from them when it's not the right time for them to watch. They should know that it is a privilege. It is not a right. And the second point, the second rule was screen time is a choice. And this goes to us parents, that we don't have to just give in to them. And I explained a scenario that I experienced when I went to so true, the addiction is real. Exactly. Yeah, I went to a coffee bar when a friend invited me over for a coffee, and I met 2 ladies sitting there with 2 little boys. Those 2 little boys were playing. Where after some time, I heard the little boy was saying, "Mommy, can I have my computer? Can I have my computer?" Maybe he was calling maybe a computer. So the mom was kind of like, why did I even come out with the iPad, you know? So she went ahead to give him that iPad just to stop him, right, from screaming and making noise in that bar. So sometimes that mom made an error to even take the kids out with an iPad. It is not right. You should know when they should have those gadgets. And the third one was screen time doesn't mix with company. And this one too for me is also very important, because your kids should know that when they have like visitors over, they have to be in the living room with everybody. I remember last time I visited a friend and we got there, the lady had to call her daughter about how many times for her to leave her room to come and say hi to us, just because that little girl was on the computer, on the iPad, on the Nintendo rather, playing the games with other friends. You know, screen time is it's making those kids so addicted to, and they lose a lot of skills. Like, they lose their emotional skills, they lose their social skills too. I also narrated a story that last year December, we had a Christmas party in Winnipeg with the Cameroonian community there. So that was on the 24th, and my son, they had a activities to do in church from their catechism class. After that, the program in church, we drove 2 hours to Winnipeg. So when we got to that house where the party was taking place, the party was in the basement. So I met about 7 kids in the living room, upstairs that house. And when we got into that house, those kids behave as if nobody entered that house. I had like goosebumps on me because everybody was like this. Even there were 7 friends, almost the same age, but they were not even discussing. Everybody was just like this. We entered that house, they did not even notice us until we went down to the basement. I was like, wow. So when we don't control those screens like that, they lose a lot of skills. Like they don't have that emotional connection even to their parents, even to their siblings, even to their friends. You know, you go to a house, you see the child with the Nintendo like this, just like this, just like this. I don't know. It's so scary, I must say, like seriously. So we have to put those rules in place so to keep our kids in check. And I was saying that now Christmas is coming. As I've said, I'm so excited for this Christmas because I know we have to go have a good time with friends in Winnipeg. But I remember last 2 years before, when we have to go, like I remember when I was in Calgary, we have to go to a Bafumanjong meeting. When you go there, you see those kids, they will just jam pack them in one room. Kids of different age group. You see the older ones, they just say things, they talk things, their own experiences that they've had with their own gadgets, with friends in school. Like there's a lot going on when it's like this festive period with parents, because when we go there, we are in the living room enjoying dancing, the kids are already somewhere, you know. If we don't have those rules, like even for our own kids to know that they don't have to watch at a certain time. I think if all parents can put those rules, they know that if they are going there for that part, they should go there just to celebrate, not to sit there and be playing. I remember last time when my son came home and he was like narrating a story that one older boy was explaining to them. You know, it was really bad because he watched something. So we have to be very careful with those. We have to put those rules in place to really keep them in check. It's sad these days they lost touch with the actual world. Exactly, Mirabe. I'm telling you, we really have to like keep up, like have to be firm with those rules. And this is like especially with kids below 2 years. As I said, I attended a virtual presentation at my son's school. That it was a presentation on internet safety, so parents were invited to join. So I joined that presentation live. That was what even made me to come up with this topic, to come and share these rules with us, and also as a reminder to my own self too, that these are things that we just neglect and they just destroy our relationships. I was also saying that, you know, us doing YouTube, even when in the living room you are there with your phone, maybe you are on live stream responding or searching, connecting with people, or responding to comments under your own videos. It's kind of like separating us, even with couples, because you can sit in the living room there like that for almost an hour, you not even say a word to your husband. So these rules we have they are not only for the kids but for everybody. And the fourth rule that I have here is screen time is not private. And this is one of the most important of all. Like seriously, our kids should not watch in private. You should put those rules. They should know that there should be no iPad in the washroom. There should be no iPad or any screen in bed when it's bedtime. Hi, host and everyone. Hi, Chenny Vini. Hi, thanks for joining. Happy New Month to you all guys joining right now. Please make sure you like this video, and if you have a community, you can please share. I will really appreciate. Oh, Alimatu shared the video. Thank you so much, Alimatu. I really appreciate that, my dear. As I was saying, that kids should not watch in private. A lady explained to us when we went to a meeting, and she said her daughter, that child was about 10 years. She went to bed maybe about 1 a.m. She could hear some noise under the blanket. So this girl was in bed under, really covered with the blanket, but she was watching things under the blanket. And we should be very careful. If you have to put those rules that they know they don't take any gadget in bed, they don't use iPad or anything in the washroom, because when they're in those places, they are not safe. Okay. Oh, I can see Chenny shared my video too. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. So I was asking, what are your plans for Christmas? Do you have any plans for Christmas? As a content creator, do you have any ideas for Vlogmas? You know, can you share with me too? Because today is 1st of December and we have to start bringing up those video ideas. How to, the video will have to be sharing this time. Alimatu Victorious Mirabel is saying hi to you. And to Chenny. So for those joining, I'm discussing some screen time rules that we have to put in place for us parents and our kids to follow. And the first privilege was screen time is not a privilege. Our kids should know that screen time is a privilege given to them by their parents when they deem fit, right? So they should know that parents, if they see that this is not the right time for you to watch your iPad, they can take it from you. If they know that this is not the right time for you to watch the TV, they can turn off the TV. Kids should understand that. And they should also understand that if it's not the right time, or you are not using your phone right, they can confiscate your phone too. So parents should put that rule and be firm with it for kids. Yeah, I remember my son, sometimes he would say, "Mommy, just 5 minutes, just 5 minutes." I say, "No, it's time out. When it's time, it is time." So we have to be very firm with them. Still in the streets. Jenny says she's still in the street. Victorious Mirabel. And the second rule is screen time has no place at the table. Which means when dinner time or lunch time should be time for family. This screen time issue, I have a coworker who does not have electronic in their house. They play game during their free time with their children. Oh my goodness, that is so amazing. That is so amazing. I know, because sometimes I was ask my kids, go to the basement and play with your brother and your sister. Like, just, they should have that connection. Because you go to a house, you see all the kids, they have gadgets, they have iPad, this one have Nintendo, and they're always on that. They don't have that sibling connection. Wow. It is really nice. Like, I don't know how. I know sometimes I'm guilty with some of these rules because I break them sometimes too. But I think it's just a reminder for all of us to always to make sure we should be firm with these rules, because they are destroying our emotional skills, our social skills. Like, you are in the living room with even with your partner, you can sit there maybe for an hour, you don't even offer a word to each other because you guys are on the phone. Oh jeez, like, we have to really put those rules in place. And I also, when I started this live stream, one lady was, she was, they have very strict routines with their children. That is very good. It is very good. I am trying, but it's not easy. But I think all parents should be trying. So this one lady joined here, and I was talking about because Christmas time is coming, and we do all the activities. When we go for celebrations, we don't really have time for those for our kids. And she made a comment that because I also mentioned about sleepover for kids, because to me, I don't do that. I don't just do that, seriously, because I trust my kids, but can you really trust the other family? I don't know. Somebody talk to me, like, do you encourage sleepover for kids? Even with couples, I've told my husband no TV in the bedroom. It has become a third person in the bedroom. I know. I don't encourage that. That's why I'm saying you don't have to. Screen time should not be private. If you say to watch TV, the TV in the living room, so we should know what you are watching. If it's on your iPad, I should know what we are watching. If it's on YouTube, I should be able to know the kind of videos you are watching. Yeah, so this lady was talking about trust. I told her that I trust my own kids, but I don't really trust a friend's kids, right? And I explained the situation that I heard that happened in US. That this man was in the state. So before leaving to the state, this man had two kids with separate two women back home. Hello everyone, Green Nation is here. Welcome, Green Nation. Happy new month, bro. Nice to see you. So this guy, before moving to the state, as I said, had two kids back home with two separate ladies, a boy and a girl. So he brought those two kids over to the state, and the boy was about 15 years and the girl was about 10. So they were living with their dad in the state. He was a busy man, So this man had no clue that other brother is abusing the little girl, and the little girl did not tell the dad. So how did they know that is what has been happening? So the man had plans to go out of state. So he had a friend that were a couple, husband and wife. They have their own kid. They had a daughter that was about 10 years old then too. So this man took her two kids to this man's house because he was moving out of the state. He had to travel, so he took the kids over to the friend's house. Amabudu, nice to see you there. Thanks for coming. Thumbs up done. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this lady was like the 15-year-old boy. So he went over to the other guy's house and was also abusing that little girl in that house. Even the parents of that little girl did not know. This was somebody that they trusted each other, right? That's why they decided to bring the kids together. And this little girl in that house did not even tell her parents that that's what that boy is doing to her in their own house. So it happens that this child went to school, and one morning I was not feeling well, and she started crying in school. So the teachers were asking, what is happening? What happened? Like, she had to just break down and explain everything, that's what that boy is doing to her in their own house. When she's at night, this boy will come to their house and to her bedroom and be abusing her. That was when the school had to call the parents of this little girl. So when they discovered that, they say, okay, they have to follow up to see where this boy was coming from, and they discovered this boy was coming from a dad with a single father, right? So, and they discovered that this boy also have a sister that they live together. If this boy could do this to this other girl in their own house, how more of this other girl in their own house that their dad is not always there, always at work, So this So they had to, the other family had to call the police. They had to come in to investigate what was happening. And so when they got to this little girl and the younger sister of that boy's house, they did not even ask anything, and that girl just break down. She was just cute and started crying. That was when they knew that this brother was also abusing her before they discovered in the other house. So I was like, trust. Sleepover for me is a no, because I will trust my kids, but I don't trust the other kids. You don't know what can happen behind you, especially with kids. So we have to be very careful. Depressed Bridget from Mukong. Hello, ma'am. Jeez. How are you, my dear? Thanks for joining. Happy new month to you. Nice to see you. Yeah, so I'm here today. We are discussing some rules that we have to put in place for our kids against screen time. Not only for kids, but for us all. Even parents, we have to follow those rules too. Because this screen time issue is really affecting everybody, seriously. You see, even parents, they are losing that connection, because you are in the living room with your husband. You don't talk to him. You don't chat with each other. And I said screen time is not private, should not be private for our kids. Yeah, we should always know what our kids are watching, and we should not allow them to watch behind closed doors. They should not have their gadget in bed. They should not have their gadget in the bathroom. And they should also know that screen time is a privilege for them, which can be taken away by their parents. So your kids should know that their mom or dad can turn off the TV at any time. They should know that you can confiscate their phones when they are not using it rightly. So we should be very firm with those rules for our kids. Then I'll explain a situation here that was explained to me by my uncle's wife, and I would like to ask you guys to give your own opinion. What if you are in that situation? How will you handle that situation? I remember when I was still back home, my uncle told me that when our other cousins, the younger ones, they visited her, back home in Moyoka, for those who are from Cameroon, it's really hot. So my uncle wives, they brought out a mattress in the living room, right? Just put it on the floor, and the kids were sleeping there. So at the TV in the living room at night, about 2 a.m., she could hear the kids, a sound of the TV, and she was wondering what these kids are watching at this time. When she was just going closer, slowly like that, she saw those kids were watching a bad movie at night. And my uncle's wife just jumped over them and just turned off the TV. And she did not say anything to those kids. Okay, you guys say she's back. Okay, welcome back there. So I want to know, if you are the one in that situation, what will you do? How will you manage? She said the next morning the kids were so, she did not ask them anything. So I don't know if the kids, it was right for her just to stay mute, or was it the right thing for her to stay quiet, or was she supposed to ask them or to talk to them? I would like to hear your own opinion. She had all right to turn it off. Yeah, she had all right to turn it off, but that staying quiet without asking the kids or talking to them, that why were they watching that kind of movie? Was it the right decision? Was that a good thing to do? Let me hear in the comment section, guys. Yeah, so I don't know, for me, so the next day, they were having a serious conversation. They did not discuss anything the next day, and it ended like that. So I don't know if that was a good move or not. She should have asked them on a different day. Yeah, to me, that's what I would do. She should speak to them. Yeah, she was supposed to talk to them. But later, at some point, I had to call her and ask her again if she noticed that kind of move again, and she said no. Since that day, they have never on the TV again at night. But I don't know if that was helpful for the kids, because only that I did for them to have in their mind to watch that kind of movie, and for the mom not to say anything about that. I don't think that was the right decision, because if kids at that age, if they could think of watching that kind of movie, I think that was the right time for the mom to step in to like kind of advise them on the disadvantages of watching that kind of movie. And no, for me, we are having a serious conversation the next day. Yeah, to me, maybe not the immediately, maybe not the next day, but maybe a day after for me, right? Just to see, like, I think those kids were just like battling with that kind of that fear emotion. Like, I don't know, can't sweep things like those under the rug. Exactly, for me, I can't really stay quiet like that. I cannot. She's not there 24/7. They might not watch at night, but watch when she is not home. Exactly, that's right. Yeah, and as I said, just that idea of watching that kind of movie was the right time for her to really come in with that education, right? But just staying mute like that was not, to me, was not the right decision. Yeah, I actually told her that, to me, if I was I would ask them, or to like have a talk with them. But I don't know, maybe she just let go because they were all boys. But even boys, they still go through a lot, they still need that education. Okay, so the last screen time rule, I don't know if for those that are new here, that are joining us now, maybe I still have to go back to just a rundown of all the rules that we parents have to put in place for our kids. So the first rule is screen time is not a privilege. Your kids should know that their mom or their dad has a right to turn off the TV anytime. They don't have any right. It is not a right for them to watch. Then the second rule was screen time is a choice, which means we should not fall with them. Like, we should choose when for them to watch. Like, I know sometimes I narrated a story of a lady at the coffee bar that she just gave into her son asking for an iPad, even though she had the iPad at the bar. Just because that child was screaming, right? We should not just give in to them because they are making noise, they are crying, or they are screaming, or they are begging too much. No, we should have those rules. That is a choice. You choose to give that child that screen time. Oh, easy but fancy. My own sister is around. Nice to see you, sis. Happy new month. Happy new month. And happy Christmas in advance. Christmas is around the corner. Yeah, so I'm here discussing some rules. We have screen time rules. All the moms should join. All the moms should join, because these kids, they cannot just come and be controlling us like that. So as I was saying, screen time is a choice. You should choose when the kids should watch their gadget. They should not just be controlling us, because they know, especially when you are out with them, they know when to just, because they know you cannot do anything to them when they are out, right? They will be screaming and you just give in to them and give the iPad, give them the gadgets. No, no, no. But when they are just over, you just want them to go away, you just give them. No, it shouldn't be like that. So that was the second rule that we have to put in place. And the third rule was screen time doesn't mix with company. And this is a very important one too. Because our kids should know that when they have friends over, they should interact with friends, not only watching. You know, if you have friends come over or cousins come over, you see, they don't have that connection. They don't sit and discuss things or play together. Because this one is on the Nintendo, the other one is on iPad. They are just like, because this screen time, this is really destroying our kids, seriously. They lose a lot of things, like they don't have that social connection anymore. They don't have that emotional connection like amongst them as siblings. Those are things we have to really, I am guilty, is something, this is just a wake-up call for all of us, seriously, because if we don't pin pin our feet down to put those rules, like our kids will just, I don't know how they'll end up, seriously. So screen time should not be mixed with company. You should know that when you have friends over or have a guest over, they should be in the living room, they should play with their friends, you know. They should interact with each other, not watching all the times. And to us parents too, somebody should not come to your house and you are busy with your phone, you know. And the others, the fourth was screen time is not private. That's when we were talking about, like, kids should be very, they should know when to watch. They should not watch their iPads in their rooms. They should not watch iPads in the bathroom. You should always, parents should always know what they are watching, what channels they are watching, you know. Because kids nowadays, they just go on Google, they search things, terrible ads like just popping on their videos, and it is not really good for our kids. So we have to always put an eye on them. We should know what they are watching all the time. And the last was screen time has no place at the table. Yeah. So we should not be at the table. Like when you are at the table, you should discuss other things. I know my kids, I am really working hard with that, because no, of course they don't have their gadgets when it's eating time, but that is the time that you will hear them. They'll tell us all the stories that all the things that happen during the day at dinner time, which is still is good, you know. That like dinner time should be a time that we should connect, like learn some manners, share some stories, family story ideas, you know. But it shouldn't be like too much. And I'm feeling like it's too much, because even when the time that they are supposed to tell you those things, they are busy on their phones, mommy on their iPads, watching the TV. They don't have that connection with mommy to tell them or to tell her all those things. But when it's at the table, they know that they don't have all those things again, because when we are having dinner, the TV is off. So that's when they will be talking. So I'm trying to limit that. Like they should talk, but not too much, right? Because someone can get choked. Yeah. Yeah. So do you have any other rules that we think we can share with me? Please, I will appreciate if you can drop any rule that we should put for our kids in the comment section. As I said, this rule is not only for kids. Us parents, we have to respect too. Easy but fancy. Do you, maybe I should ask you this question too. Do you encourage sleepover? That was a point that we were kind of debating on with one lady in the comment section. Do you encourage sleepover for kids? I don't know, like this video is I'm using my phone. I would have like just, invite somebody to share with me, maybe in a call or something. But my laptop is showing me Jumeloko. Is Isabel Fancy still here? I don't know. I was asking if she encouraged a sleepover. I know Victoria's Mirabel is still here. I don't know if she encouraged that too. Do you encourage a sleepover, Mirabel? To me, I don't encourage it, like seriously. It depends, maybe once in a while if it's with trust and worthy family. That's right. Yeah, you always trust the other person, right? Like I for one, I'll say I don't encourage it, but it's okay to do that when the kids are really young, like they're still very young. But when they are getting older, I don't think, for me, I'm not comfortable. I will trust my kids, but I don't know what level of trust I'll have to the other kids. I don't know. Because I just narrated a story that happened in the States, and the other family, they trusted the other kids, but it turns out that the other kids was just messing around with the other kids, like, and the parents were not even aware. So they only had to discover when the child went to school and was crying at school, and the teacher started asking, and the child had explained everything there, and the parents were surprised. Sometimes we have that trust, you trust this person, but they fail us seriously. For me, I can encourage sleepover when they are still young, but when they are getting older, to me, I don't encourage it seriously. Because nowadays, with all these gadgets, things that kids watch, it make their heads really open to so many things when it's not the right time. So those were the 5 screen time rules that I came on to discuss with you guys. If you have any comment or anything to comment about those rules, I will appreciate if you can drop them in the comment section. Like this one is the most important one. Screen time is not private. Do you agree with me on this point? And I also said that I attended a presentation at my son's school. It was a presentation on internet safety, and parents were invited to join on the Zoom. So when I joined that presentation, the lady said research have shown that kids who spend more than 2 hours on screen a day, they tend to lose so many important things in their life. They lose a skill that can even help them at school or at work. They also lose that social skill and that emotional skill, and that I really agree with that lady, to be honest. This screen time is taking our kids emotional skill and social skills. And I also explained a situation that I went to. We had that was 2 years ago, before COVID. We had a December celebration. We drove from here 2 hours to the place, and that was on the 24th. So we got there maybe about almost midnight, because my kids had a program at church. So after church, we drove there. When we got there, the celebration was taking place, like everybody was in the basement of that house. And I met about 7 kids in that house. 7 kids, almost about around the same age, and all of them were on their gadgets. We entered that house, and they did not even notice that somebody entered that house. To be honest, I actually screamed. Like, we entered there, they did not even blink, like somebody has entered the house. I had to scream that, what is happening? Did you guys see us? Like, They were there, 7 of them, about almost the same age. They were not even discussing with each other. The house was so quiet, like, I said, what is this? They are losing their social skills. They cannot even sit and connect with their friends and discuss, you know. They are only on their phones. So that's why I just said, let me come and share with us these rules that we have to put in place. So our kids should try to respect them, because I know this festive period is coming. When we go to those places, to those parties, we don't really have time for them. And you know, when we are there at the parties, they'll just jam-pack kids in one room and with different age groups, and they are there with those gadgets. You know, your little boy will go and connect with the big boy, watching terrible things on their phones. So we have to be very careful as parents. So if yes, easy but fancy say yes, as parents we should be aware of what our kids watch, and of course the time spent on it should be limited. Exactly. Yeah, we have to be firm on those rules. You have to be firm on those rules. Yeah, I think I've been live for over 1 hour. So who am I with here right now? Is it easy but fancy? Who is on with me now? Just drop a comment, let me know who is here with me. I think I forgot to drop the fit point. I'm still here. Okay. So how far? What are the plans for Christmas? Love and kids were okay. That's the fifth point. Screen time has no place at the table. That was the last rule that I think we have to put in place for our kids, for us, even us parents to follow. So when it's eating time, no screens around, the TV should be off. I'm really putting that firm in my house, that when we are eating there's no TV on. Thanks for sharing great tips. Here, okay, am I still here? Yeah, I think those are the 5 tips, the 5 rules I came on for us to discuss, and I was expecting you guys to bring in more. What are some of the rules that you put in place too? Can share with me. I think those are not all the rules that we have to put in place to keep our kids safe and to protect them too. Do you guys have any rule that you can share with me in the comment section? Some water. I was saying that I'm excited for Christmas, but a little bit too worried again because of the new virus. I'm just scared they should not. I just hope they will not have another lockdown, seriously, because I spent Christmas last year just us alone in this house. Like, I like to spend Christmas with friends, you know. So I'm just praying, keeping my fingers crossed, you know, so that hope they will not put down some rules that people will not meet again. Seriously. So any plans for the Christmas? Easy but fancy? Are you going to the States for Christmas? My brother was inviting me over that I should come to the States, but it's not easy. Do you have any plans for the Christmas? Easy but fancy. I'll just be here maybe another 8 minutes. So I'll be ending this live stream in 8 minutes time. No plans yet. It's too early, my dear. It's still just the 1st of December. Maybe the days ahead. Okay. Exactly. We can't really plan now. Seriously. This new virus, I just hear there are a lot of lockdowns already. So I'm just praying they should not put some lockdown rules again here in Manitoba. I also explained a scenario here. Maybe I should just explain it to you again, easy but fancy. When my uncle's wife explained to me that one time during summer holidays, the other cousins, they came over to her house, and back home in Moyoka precisely, it's very hot there, so she just put out like a mattress in the living room for the kids to sleep. And so when at night about 2 a.m. my uncle's wife said she heard the kids, she heard a sound like the TV was on, so she was just tiptoeing going to the living room, and she met those kids watching a terrible movie at night about 2 a.m. So she did not say anything to them. She just like jumped over them and just turned off the TV, and she went straight to bed. She did not say anything. She did not offer a word to them. Even the following morning, she did not say anything. And I was like, do you think that was that was good for her to do that, not to just say anything to the kids? To me, I was not really comfortable about that. Maybe not immediately the next day, but look for a time, convenient time, call the kids and talk to them. Because I think if kids can really have that mind to, like, on the TV or to search that kind of movie and start watching, means their mind is already open to things, and they need to more education on that. So I don't know if you have. Was that a good move for my uncle's wife to do that? Just to ignore those kids, and they just struggled. I think it was kind of traumatizing for the kids, because I know they will be wondering, did mommy see it where? Did he even understand what they are watching? So many questions will just be popping in their mind, and I think it was not really good for her to just stay quiet and not talk to them. Or maybe the kids will understand, as one of my sister Victoria's Mirabel said, yeah, they know they will not watch that kind of movie again at night, because they know mommy might hear that sound again, but they will look for a convenient time to watch such movies, which I think, for me, I think it was the right time for her to step in and educate them, like advise them that such movies are not really good to watch at their age, or just educate them that watching these things like this, what they are doing is maybe just acting. It is not real. They should not do such actions. It's just for actions, but she was just, I would definitely sit them down and have a good talk with them. Exactly. Yeah, I think that was a very wrong move for her. So let me explain that, because it's kind of relation to one of these, the rule that I just said, kids should not watch in private, because when our kids watch in private, they watch things that, if you see, maybe your own eyes will pop out. So you always have to keep an eye on them, know what they are watching. Yeah. I see 3 people, I think. I'll be rounding up in 4 minutes. Oh, Mirabe is still here. Why they laugh, my dear? Are you laughing at me, or with me, or for me? Let me know. So who are those watching behind the scene? Drop a comment, let me know you are here, please. Okay, you say once I will pop out. I know, right? So we have to be very careful, know what they watch. Because when your child is already 10 years, like, you have to be very careful. They know a lot of things, they do a lot of research. They will not even come and ask you, they just go on, you know. So we have, that's the reason why we don't have to let them watch in the in their rooms. You know, they should watch in the living room. They should not watch in the washroom, in the bathroom. I'm here just watching in the background as I am at work. Okay, I understand, Mirabe. I'll be running up this live stream. My baby girl is up already. She was sleeping, so that's why I just seemingly just come up here and let's discuss these rules. Because I know as Christmas is coming, parents, when they go out for celebration, they are just very busy and they don't keep an eye on the kids. And if your kids, they know that they don't have to watch those kind of things, even when they go to somebody's house and maybe their friends are asking them to watch those things, they will kind of have some limit. They'll feel if you have those honest kids, like, they'll come to you and tell you, mommy, this person is asking us to watch this or asking us to do this. So we have that good relationship with your kids. It's very important. I'm here but busy. That's okay, Amma. I understand. We are all busy moms. That's what I'm saying. My husband, my baby is up, so it's almost 8 o'clock here. I think I have to give him food to eat. So I'll be rounding up in a minute, guys. I really appreciate you guys for joining this live stream. Thanks for it's a very sensitive topic, looking at the fact that parents these days use electronic as babysitters for their children. It's really sad, and I know it's something that we all struggle with. Even parents, we have to, as I said, these rules are for us all, like parents and kids too, to follow, because it's really bad. It's destroying even our social connections, even as couple, as siblings. So I don't know, like, we really have to sit up on these things. So I really appreciate you guys for joining. I'll be ending this live stream now, and I'll appreciate you guys for joining me. I really appreciate you guys' comments, and yeah, see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.